Lord have mercy.
All right, what's up? What's up? What's up? We got a big show planned today. So I'm going to get into a couple of topics today. First of all, we're going to talk about G Status ATL Hustle. We're going to talk about the VMAs. Then we're going to be talking about Letoya Luckett being broke. And then we're going to give you an update on Tim from Sweetie Pie. So first and foremost, I want to say good morning to each and every one of the producers. And I want to thank everybody for, watching the shows for these past couple of morning shows. It have been lit. But I do want to get into G Status ATL Hustle. It is a show, it's an LGBT web series that it airs every 2 weeks on Status TV Network. So I watched the show. I'm trying to host the reunion show. But the show to me was really lit this season. First of all, it opens up with Delicious. Everybody know who Delicious is. That is the transgender woman that apparently have got kicked off the show because she had been saying the N-word and have been fighting with Sir Hakeem, and they have been going back and forth. Her wig have been flying all around. Then in this episode, she was running up to our guy. Our guy did not want to fight her. He was waiting on his Lyft or Uber, and she wanted to just fight. I'm like, where you going? Where you going? I want to talk to you. She wanted to fight, and very aggressive. Production was holding together. Mama holding together. She got her face all blotted out. It looked like that's somebody auntie that's working on the production team, and they're literally fighting in this parking lot. Then, of course, another cast member by the name of Tremel is having a conversation with Ike. That's the singer, which I think he should get off the show because it's boring. But in this particular episode, he did pretty good. Ike, shout out to you. This is the first time ever I'm giving you kudos in the show. So he have a conversation with my good friend, Sherrod. And he was like, I want to have a conversation with Tremel. I want to have a conversation. So could you hook it up? My only thing is, if you have a problem with somebody, don't insert other people's friends. If I have an issue with A, I don't want to get B in the situation. Let me talk to A. So what I didn't like from, Sherrod is in this episode is that you inserting Ike into the situation. Well, could you try to make this happen? No. If you have an issue with Tremel, go to Tremel and have that conversation. Anywho, I got involved, and this is the main reason why you don't get involved into people mess, because you're going to wind up getting messy or get hurt. So I tried to talk to Tremel. Tremel was being very nasty to Ike, was coming on Ike. I don't understand why you coming at me. I'm just in the middle. I just don't put this on me. This supposed to be my event, because that was Tremel was at the event. He was trying to help his career, but they fighting, arguing, wigs are being flying, N-words being flying. It was just a lot of ghetto mess going on in that parking lot. So Ike was really trying to talk to Tremel to talk to Sherrod. So Ike was like, I don't want to talk to Sherrod around all these people. Really just being very mean and nasty. Ike, because Ike is a country boy. He ain't really all that mean and nasty. He's not confrontational. He's a sweet guy, and he have an amazing record because I downloaded it on iTunes. So he's listening to all this stuff, and I'm just like, okay, let's continue. All this stuff is going on. Then finally, Tremel was like, well, the reason why I don't get along with Sherrod is because Sherrod called me a prostitute. And he called me a prostitute. So I'm like, when did Sherrod call you a prostitute? So finally they get to my good friend, The Royal Couch. He's an up-and-coming blogger. Check him out. He was on his show, and he was like, well, I heard that Tremel prostitutes and that he's an escort. He didn't say that Tremel was a prostitute. He said what he had heard. So he said in an interview. And so Tremel was taking it so personal. So finally, Tremel and Shirai link up in the parking lot and they talk. And Tremel was like, you lie. You said I was a prostitute. And Shirai said, I don't remember. But when you roll back the tape, Shirai was saying what he had heard. That he heard that Tremel was a prostitute. Now, this is the thing, though. Tremel, you are a hypocrite because you have dragged Shirai for filth in season 1 G Status ATL. Making fun of him doing porn, making fun of him being in that life. You have dragged him over and over again. So when he clapped back or be a little shady, you talking about, well, what about my reputation? What about this? This ain't good. You have been talking a whole lot of mess about Shirai in the first season. So don't get mad when Shirai clap back and be a little shady. It's like you trying to erase all this negative stuff that you've been talking about Shirai. Y'all have all been teaming up on that young brother in season 1. Like y'all don't suck and lick and laugh. Then Delicious came up in there with her pink and purple wig. Can y'all just make up? Just annoyed. Can y'all just make up? Can y'all just... I'm like, first and foremost, Delicious. Hold up, sister girl. Sit down somewhere because you was just chasing our guy Scary behind to his car. He didn't want to fight. He was so scared. I don't want to fight you. So now that Sherrod and Tremel trying to talk, now you trying to insert, just make up, come on, ready. Now you ready to go. After your wig that came out, after you done threw your shoe, a mess, a hot, stinking mess. Then you see Tremel looking like, Rick James with that outfit that he had on. He had the Rick James hair. Baby, the comments, Tremel, they're saying that you need a stylist. Because, baby, I don't know what the world you were trying to do in that episode. Then it gets to Charlie. Charlie, I'm going to say this humbly. Stop acting like you Beyonce, okay? You are up and coming rapper in the LGBT community. You got some decent, cute songs. But I'm just so tired of production flying to go see you perform when you ain't like it like that. I just feel like you are Diana Ross of the cast, that you try to distance yourself from the cast, that you don't want to be in a mess. Now, you should have been there confronting Delicious about her saying that she humped you and that you paid her $50 for her to stick her equipment inside of your back door, okay? So, but you wasn't there. So our guy had to pick up your battle and defend you. And he was running because he ain't about that life with throwing them hands. He was like, if Delicious put her hands on me, I'm calling the cops. Well, our guy, you should have kept your mouth closed. Go insert yourself. If you ain't ready to pick about that life, don't take up for Charlie. Let Charlie talk about if he had any relations with Delicious and he paid her $50. Don't get yourself involved. So they in New York, and then you see Charlie. He's performing. Then it gets back to Atlanta. Then we get to they get back to Atlanta. Then it gets to Roman. Baby girl. Bruh. I'm not call you baby girl. Roman, you are very attractive. Your body is everything. You are the most, at the entire cast, you look the best. You are good looking, brother. Good brown skin. You built and you can vogue in your kitchen. Very good. But you can't rap. You cannot rap. You can't rap. It's Jesus, and you can't rap. Let me say it again. Roman, with love, you can't rap. Roman, with love, you can't rap. Save your coins. Don't try to go to the studio because Roman, it ain't for you. Okay? We ain't see you in a couple of episodes, and now we saw you voguing in your kitchen. Then you went from voguing in your kitchen to trying to be the next the baby. It ain't for you. Nope. No. Not gonna happen. It ain't for you. Mm-mm, mm-mm. I just had to say that. Now I know you ain't gonna like what I'm saying. You may not never come on the show, but at least I'm being honest. It ain't for you. Baby girl with that hat, look like you was trying to go fishing. Look like you just left fishing at the pond and went there and said, okay, let me go into the studio and let me try to rap. If that's your storyline, you could stay at home. Stay at home. Stay at home or go in your kitchen and do some more dancing and voguing. Or going to the gym because you're a very amazing eye candy. You are amazing eye candy. Okay. Okay. Now I know you probably ain't gonna come on the show because you're supposed to come on the show forever. You've been not answering my phone call, so I don't know. I'm just gonna tell you the right then and there. Then we got to get into Sherrod. You know I love you, Sherrod. But he started talking about his hands. You know he was born with a birth defect. Now I've never known this. I've been knowing Sherrod for a long time. He started telling his story of being born with a birth defect of his hands. And he is so good looking. He in it to model. And it was just so amazing. And I'm so glad that Sherrod was just, having an amazing time telling about his experience. They had pictures. Of his family. He was just reflecting on coming up. He was reflecting coming up and that stuff like that. So I am extremely amazed to see him right now being honest. Even though he's very attractive, but he's letting it know, like, I have my own birth defects. And I think that was very dope of him to come out and to talk about his birth defects. And to be honest, I have a birth defect. My eye is crossed. I walk with a limp. And now I'm coming into my own skin of actually, embracing it and empowering myself and not, crying under a rock or in my air mattress, et cetera, et cetera. Now I'm loving everything that's made about me because I'm making it a part of my brand. So I was so encouraged to see, Sherrod doing that, using his hands, getting the OnlyFans, busting it wide open, making his coins. I think that's dope. Make your money. Then he gets to another cast member, Redrick. Now, we all know who Redrick is. Redrick is the pretty boy. Redrick, a couple of episodes ago, she got walked on, stepped on, got a plate, food all over her. They didn't print them on, stepped on her. But in this particular episode, Redrick is showing you the work that Redrick have been doing and, doing makeup, working in the industry. So she was doing, who was that? Mama D. I believe, yes, I believe, Mama D makeup. And I'm like, okay, Redrick, I'm going to have to start being a little nice because you in the industry doing makeup. And she just talking to Mama D and Mama D getting ready, putting her face together for a whole nother, single that she about to release. Y'all know Mama D got vocals. I really love her song. I believe that's my song. That's my record. So what that she did a record, her dentures fell out her mouth. I just think that she's just an incredible as reality star. Mama know how to put on a show. I would never forget when she was in that basement in T.S. Madison basement. That was before T.S. Madison getting them flows done. How she went down there and was so drunk and just putting on a good show, arguing with her husband. They going back and forth. Then she was roasting and gagging her husband family. It was a real ghetto mess, but yet I was here for it. So Mama D is in there. She was talking to our guy, people are jealous. They're hating on you. It is what it is. But I just want our guy just not to be up Charlie's butthole. And I say that with all disrespect. Don't be chasing after Charlie. Like, what gets me with our guy, he's very attractive, by the way. Our guy is very attractive. And I really was able to look at him in this episode because he wasn't around Charlie, he went up his butt. So, but he was kind of but this episode, you really was able to focus on Charlie. I mean, his outfit was like off the chain. Our guy was the best looking. He had the big ponytail. He's very attractive. If he wasn't in a relationship, I'll try to tap that. I'm just going to be honest. If he wasn't in a relationship, I don't care if he is in a relationship. No, I got to be good. He in a relationship. If he in a relationship, I ain't going to try to talk to that because, if I say that as joking, I go that loud and they're going to be trying to mace me and beat me up and all that type of good stuff. But he's very attractive. And I was able to look at it because he wasn't chasing Charlie. Lord have mercy. When Charlie get up on the Lord, just he dumb himself down. Look, our guy, you get in that bag, be you, because last time we saw him, he was in church crying and weeping, talking about praising the Lord. He was going through much. You just need to let Charlie go. Get out Charlie nipple and just have your own identity. So this episode, Charlie, had his own, our guy had his own identity. Then we get to the cemetery. We get to Sir Hakeem. I really believe this segment was the most saddest segment. This segment, wow. Sir Hakeem, his mom, they were at the cemetery visiting his father's grave, and he was talking about his story about his father commit suicide. And he was sharing the story, and during his confessional, he was trying to share it, and he was breaking up. And then the producer was in the chat. I mean, not in the chat. Well, thank you. They're here now, but they was there just say share what you're comfortable with, and he was breaking down, and I was crying, and he was explaining that his father in the restroom was 21 years old, put a gun up to his head, and commit suicide in front of his brother, and I'm like, woo. Woo, like that was a lot. And it broke me down to tears because I just can remember when my grandmother would talk about her father, and my uncle would talk about his grandfather committing suicide in the house. That just made me go reflect back. And, him talking about how, why did my father do this? And then his mom, before she said her knees was hurting, aching, that was quite funny when she said that part. But then she said, I wanted to leave him. And I told him I was going to leave you. And then a couple of days later, he went in the restroom and committed suicide. And it was just so sad and disheartening because that'll let you know that mental illness runs deep. And this is why our generation now have to take a psychiatrist and go and get therapy. And just that, I was just triggered. I was looking at, this book that I was reading, and I highly suggest everybody read this. I just finished it, with Charlemagne the God Shook One. And he was like talking about anxiety. He was talking about it's faith without works is dead, that you can have faith and use that work by going to get a psychiatrist to talk about your issues. And I think everybody should try to talk to a therapist if you need it and take mental health very serious, because Sir King was talking about how much anger and his temper, and it's because then he reflect about, losing something, losing his father and not knowing who his father is. And it's just very sad. And I wept up and I cried, and I'm just praying for him and his family, because I really believe Sir King, should get into therapy and to work on his anger and to work on that. Because he said, I black out sometimes. So I'm definitely praying for him, his wife, his mom, his entire family. I want to thank, G Status, ATL Hustle, the producers, for putting that in the show. And I said, that is needed because so many of us go through so much and we don't see it. And so for that scene need an Emmy, because that was a beautiful scene. And that scene, I highly suggest, if you watch nothing else from the episode, is to watch that, because that's definitely a scene that we definitely, I think a conversation, to make sure. And his father was only 21 years old. He was a young man, 21 years old. And even growing up in this community, I've known some people, even I tried to commit suicide a couple of times, but I can tell you, I thank God that I'm still here. And just growing up, of the people that I used to party with and sit down with, commit suicide. And it's very strong in the LGBT community, especially in the Black community, in all communities. But I know for a fact in the Black community and the LGBT community that we need to be more aware and to get the help that we need. While you're going to get on PrEP, ain't nothing wrong with going to see a therapist. While you're making sure you take your HIV meds, if you are HIV positive, it's nothing wrong with going to see a therapist as well, especially if you grew up in a dysfunctional home. I just highly suggest that. So that scene was on point. I was here for it. I was like, yes to the production. I never seen an online show that that really got so serious in that. I was like, wow, G Status, y'all pushed the envelope for that. That to me was absolutely kudo points. So I say thank you to that. Thanks to the production for that. So then after that scene, then it gets, okay, I talked about the art guy, the Mama D situation. I already talked about that. His look was everything. He's very attractive. Very, very attractive. I would love for them to probably do my makeup and be around. Then it gets to Mess. It ends with Mess. Sir Hakeem, we just got through singing your praises, how good you how you did your story. Then he meet up with some guy was saying, why did you do this to the list? She eat cake. Next thing I know, the guy hit Sir Hakeem with the cake, with the yellow cake. Now already you know, sorry, he's a dark-skinned brother. That yellow cake got all on his face. Now, we was all positive, going emotional, right? Then it got to some drama and mess. I was here for it. He put that cake all in Sir Hakeem's face. Wham! He was like, you gonna do this to me? And da da da. I was like, yes, I'm here for it. So this part one was definitely, I'm talking about this part one was definitely lit. I am here for it. I highly suggest everybody, if you did not check out G Status ATL Hustle, make sure y'all go check them out. It's Status TV Network. We're trying to host a reunion show because I feel like it's time that I host a reunion show. I've been reviewing LGBT web series for a long time. So I would love to sit on the couch and drink some water and just interview the cast. I'm here for it. I got some messy questions. And yes, I'm gonna say it again. I said it last week. I said it doing for interview that Delicious need to come back because it's a big part of the show. I don't care what nobody say. Delicious don't ask her out producers. It is what it is. It's a show. It was some controversy, but keep her in it because it was good for clicks and views. It was good for conversation. Let her stay in the show. As an outsider looking in, Delicious puts on the show and it's entertaining. And so what if she says something out of pocket, get somebody to confront her? That's what security is made for. But I say keep her in the show because she's a big part of the show. I think that her mess was a big part of the show, okay? Keep her in the show, okay? All right, so that was, G Status ATL Hustle. Oh, wow. Oh, like we want to, it took me on a ride. Y'all did that, producers. Y'all really took me on. And I watched the show, G Status. I watched it early this morning. As soon as I woke up, I was in my air mattress and I watched the show. I had my phone and I sat and I watched it. Mm-hmm. And I was definitely, I was entertained. I was getting into some things. It took me on a journey. And my only thing is, I would hope that a lot of these people with platforms like the My Wiggins Show, Justin J, The Scorpion Show, all of these bloggers, Funky Daniva, that have a massive platform to watch these LGBT web series and to review it on their individual shows. Because that's how these shows go to the next level. We all come together and support these people and everything. Because I made a promise with the community. I made a promise. I said, no matter how high I go up in this industry, I will always talk about shows in the community. I will always, whether it's talking about trans issues, whether it's talking about LGBTQ issues, even though I will always bring it up because of my support base, the viewers that watch me are majority women, and so they have children, they have sons, they have daughters, and one day they probably will have to have that conversation of their son coming out the closet. They may not know how to handle it, and me bringing these conversations up may give them the help and to help them, deal with that situation. They might have a son that might want to vote and get into the barroom scene. They need to be educated on how to handle that situation. So that is why I will never abandon my community or abandon it when it comes to that. Okay. All right. Moving right along, let's get into the VMAs. A couple of highlights that I have of the show. I want to say thank you to to Chloe and Halle. Y'all put on an amazing show. I really love the fact, and I really love the fact that y'all put on an amazing show. But I didn't like it that they put y'all on the pre-show. I think Beyonce should have pulled some strings, should have called the VMAs, MTV up, and said, "Hey, put Chloe on the main stage," because during this pandemic, them sisters have been putting in that work. Them sisters have been in a tennis court putting in that work. Chloe and Halle is amazing sisters, and they're natural. They ain't getting no nose job, no boob, no butt job. Whatever they have, it's just natural black women that is actually doing it. So I would have loved to see them. They put on a great performance, and I feel like their performance was lit. Then I love Doja Cat. Doja Cat had a lit performance, right? Doja Cat, I don't care what they say about you. If you ain't down with us, with the culture, blah, 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 you've been all in the media. But you really made it known, like, this is where y'all fell in love for me. Y'all fell in love for my music and my performance. I'm down for it. Then we see, then Megan Thee Stallion, she accepts her award. She wins her award. I think that was amazing. I wish that she would have performed. But I'm so happy, Megan Thee Stallion, this is your time. You're next in line to be the new queen of hip hop. You keep putting that work in, and you will be the new queen, because you're up there for that spot. And I think it was dope. Lady Gaga, I loved her music. I loved her performances. I got to get into her album. I didn't even know she had new music out, right? I've been under a rock, but her performances was dope. She was trending. She's actually trending on Alexa, because when I was looking at my Alexa, she was actually trending on there. So I was like, that's amazing for Lady Gaga. Shout out to her. And I think that she just an amazing. Shout out to Keke Palmer. She did an amazing job. I think that she's dope as a host, and I'm so glad to see my sister win. She's a beautiful brown-skinned woman, intelligent, and just out here doing it, right? I've been following Keke Palmer's career ever since she been on a Key Let It Be. I want to win the National Spelling Bee. Ever since she been on a Key Let It Be, I've been following Keke Palmer. I will never forget when I watched that movie. I was the best student for them 2 weeks because I had the spirit. I was reading more. I was studying more. Ever since I watched that movie, I went to school. You couldn't tell me nothing. But then I got back doing the same thing, not paying attention, joking, being a class clown eventually, But when that movie first came out, I was going to be a good student. I was going to the library. Let me get some books. Let me read some books. Let me be the best. Okay. All right, that. In the front, answering questions. But, then eventually I got bored. And I went back to doing the same, talking about folks, how overweight they is, ain't got no neck, double-wide chin. I was just talking about people. Because, I did get bullied. But then I started talking about folks, too. I was like, oh, okay, you want to bully me? I'm going to just start roasting you. I started to be a roaster. I never put my hands on nobody. Only 2 times, about 2 or 3 times I fought. One time was my sister. My sister was getting bullied. And so I went to the school. I was like, you did that to my sister. So I slung that boy around. I didn't make no difference. I got him good. So you did this to my sister. Boom, 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 boom. Then the next time, I think one of my sisters was getting bullied again. And I was much, much older. And then my mom was like, no, Wiley, Marquise, you can't do that. I was like, oh, because I was about to throw that little boy like they did, what was that? Like Jazz, like Uncle Phil did Jazz. I would just throw it, but I couldn't do it. I would have to stop it. I probably, But and then what was the other time I fought? Because it was only like a couple of times. It was only like a couple times. And then when I got in church, I was like, turn the other cheek. I didn't fight. I didn't. But when I went at it, baby, I went at it. Even though I was swinging, slam, whoosh, because I watched a lot of wrestling, baby. You might get slugged. I used to jump off tables and everything. Leg drop, tombstone. I used to do all that type of stuff. I used to watch a lot of wrestling. I never stone cold Steve Austin nobody. I never did that. I never did that move. I never did that move before. But leg drop, yes. Choke slam, yes. The last round when you put them up and you just put them on your shoulder and you just drop it, I never did that yet. I would like to, but I never did it. I wish I've always growing up, I always wanted to be a wrestler. I always wanted to be a wrestler, but never could. I could, my mom didn't want to do it. The church saying no, but I always wanted to be a wrestler. I still do. I love put the sock on and put it down your throat. No, don't try that at home, kids. Don't try that at home. Don't try that. But I used to do all that stuff. I used to do it, but now you can't because now they be packing now and all that type of stuff. So you can't be doing all that stuff. Now I avoid confrontation situations. I don't go to clubs and all that type of stuff because people they always want to try Wiley. It'd be somebody because this is the thing. And shout out to the VMAs. It was a great show. Let me get back to my story time. The thing about me is when I go to the club and I see a couple, it usually be one guy, the boyfriend would really love me, and then the other their boy or the other guy would hate me. It always be that situation. I was in Walmart right at my house, just shopping, getting my groceries. Somebody came, the guy came up and said, "Oh my gosh, Waddy, I love your show. You are so lit." And he's like, "My boyfriend don't like you, dog. He think you messy. I'm like, "What's the problem? Just so nice." And I was just nice, regular. My boyfriend don't like you because he think you messy. And I'm like, what the fuck going on? Like, I just talk about, I get the clicks and views, you know what I'm saying? And I was just in there and I didn't take no picture because at that time I did not like taking pictures with folks. But now I take a picture. Hey, how you doing? Let's take a picture. Let's take a selfie. Now I take pictures because now, like, I talk to people and they was like, Wiley, you put yourself out there and people want to take a picture with you. And always don't be nasty. Just take a picture with them and stuff like that. And I don't have no kids and nothing like that, so I ain't got to worry about like I'm with his family. So I go up there, take a little selfie. Yeah, I take a little selfie with you. All right. But yeah, it's just like the boyfriend couldn't stand my guts. That's how it be. It's either you gonna love Wiley or you don't think I'm messy. But when you see me in person, I'm just the sweetest guy you will ever meet. I'm just so sweet. Okay? That's how I want to host the G-Status ATL Hustle reunion show. And let me say that again. I gotta go back to that, right? Can I go back to that? And then after that, we'll get into the other two topics I got. But the reason why I want to host G-Status ATL Hustle reunion show is because I understand the influence that I have in the name. Everybody, excuse me. Woo! Everybody and their mama gonna be tuned into that reunion show. People gonna be like, how Wiley hosted that? Everybody gonna be watching. I already know the type of question I'm gonna ask because I actually gonna be a host. Hello, that actually watched the show, and I'm not from Atlanta. So it ain't gonna be that Atlanta thing. So all the people that's in there, tweet the producers, be in the producers' DM, and let them know. Let Wiley host the show, okay? Let them host the reunion show. Let me pull up the Instagram because I think that would be dope for my career, for my resume, and it would be great for the culture. Because babe, we gonna put on a show. You talk about a show. We go put on a show. When I tell you what it is, all that type of stuff, we go put on a show. So let me pull up the IG so y'all can see so y'all can know. It's gonna be. I can tell you that right then and there. All right. There we go. So that's their Instagram. Send them a message saying, let Wiley host the show. Or be in their comments, let Wiley host the show. All of y'all just be in there, let Wiley host the show. Let Wiley host the show. And the name of that show is G-Status ATL Hustle. That is the name of the show. G-Status ATL, because I gave y'all an amazing review. Okay, do y'all see the cast on there? It's a lit show. You're not gonna be bored. They're not gonna be bored. They ain't gotta worry about flying me down and let me host the show. Just pay for my hotel while I sleep in somebody's house or something like that. I want to host the show because put me on there, baby. I put on the show. I take a bus to get there, or I drive down there. I want to put on the show in Atlanta. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be lit. It's gonna be lit because I'm gonna ask the questions. Okay. Okay. Let's just say this. How many of y'all press 1? If you will watch the show, if Wiley hosts the reunion show, how many of y'all gonna be watching? The beef sector gonna be watching. Press 1 if y'all gonna be watching. Okay, I'll take the bus. This is nothing but a bus ride. Press 1 if you would watch Wiley host G Status ATL Hustle. Baby, our name's gonna be in titles because it's gonna be a show. Yes, it's gonna be a show. So all y'all that press 1, send a message. It's power and messaging. Everybody, shout out. Glory. Look at all these producers all over the country. Put on the show. I guarantee you, the producer ain't got to give me no notes and be like, you need to say this because you know a host that didn't watch. They got to give you notes so you can understand it. I watched the show. Because it'll be different. It will be a different type of show. Because you never see a host that look like me. You never see the host that had a clock eye. You never see the host that looks like me host a reunion show. Okay? Y'all jumped up out the bushes. People jumped up out the bushes. They want to see Wiley host this show. I feel it. I want to host it. I take a bus to get there. I drive down there. It's going to be lit. Everybody going to be tuned in for that show. But they're going to be like, Wiley hosting this? Oh, he messy. Oh, this is it. Yeah, I put on the show. So what? I love Atlanta. I would love to move to Atlanta. There's a lot of things that you get in Atlanta. I mean, a lot of things, you know. That's the time I'm going to be back in the lifestyle. How you doing? I'm going to be back into the lifestyle because over there, you ain't going out there to really get no women like that. It ain't number, you know, you're going to be outnumbered, you know. So I already know. As I get into some things, I can just see that right now. Where they go, they were just here. So yeah. So I'm just saying, look. They in the bushes. They watching because one thing about our audience is we don't play. We'll send an email in a second. That's what Jaguar right. I know it. You know, she keeps saying, "Who is this Wiley person?" Don't worry, we are very dedicated. I don't care if I do have to catfish and be somebody else, be a promoter. I don't care. It's not how you get it. It's just get it done. So what? I'll catfish and be another type of producer that want to book you for a show. Just as long as you get on the show and get up on the show for a show. So we're really close. I'm just gonna tell you this to get Jaguar right on there, because Jaguar right. I just want to say this piece because I was triggered. And then we're going to get into our last 2 topics. A producer sent this to me, and Jaguar Wright said, yeah, this is happening right now. Love my family. Love this album. Love life. And then someone made a comment to Jaguar Wright, responded to her. They said this, can someone explain to me what's going on? So are you beefing with Mary now? And Jaguar Wright responded, no, she just disrespectful behind the scenes. Thank the My Wiggins Show for starting this mess. At the real Mary J. Blige needs to stop spending money on PR so she can finally retire. But she can't. She got to pay Kindle hashtag Karma is a B laughing emoji. So she put an address on it to the My Wiggins Show. Yes, she did. Yes, she did. She said, because Ahmad Wiggins, and I told her, and I sent her an email. I said, Ahmad Wiggins and Daytime Tea Time, they put Mary J. Blige in the mess. Daytime, tea time, and Amara Wiggins, they both put them in the mess. And I'm like, if she want to be on the limelight, I heard that she's in Dallas. Let's talk about it. Let's do this sit down interview. I get you in the limelight. It ain't hard. Because, get you in the studio. Let me manage your career. Let me manage your career in my Diana Ross voice when she told Brandy, let me manage your career. Let me help you with your career. I help Jaguar with her career because she still got some talent. She still got some vocals. She got to smoke. She got to stop smoking them cigarettes, though. But she still got some talent. I was listening to some of her records. I'm like, this woman can go. I send a message. It ain't just my Wiggins show. It's Candace from Daytime, Tea Time. She said, Mary J. Blige. She said, you delusional. She said, you got a mental illness. Ain't nothing to hide about it. Why hide? Okay, let me leave for a voice note. I want to leave for another voice note. Give me a second. That was email. Let me leave a voice note. Let me leave a voice note. What we had for? Let's why we had? Let's call it out. Good morning, Mrs. Wright. This is Wiley from the Wiley Show, and I saw that you tagged my Wiggins show starting the mess with Mary J. Blige, but he wasn't the only one. Candace from Daytime Tea Time, she also said that you were coming at Mary J. Blige and that you're delusional, that you have a mental illness program, that you need to hang it up, that she didn't know who you was. So if you're going to tag, you have to tag everybody. I am a blogger. I've been reaching out to you, your team. And again, I am in Dallas. I'm ready for this sit-down interview. I would love to interview you. You're an amazing singer, and I just keep on keeping on. To never let nobody stop you from telling your truth. If you feel like Mary J. Blige, them applause wasn't for Mary J. Blige, them applause for you, then baby, that was for you. I can't stop what you think is for you. And I'm definitely praying for you and your family. If you ever want to come on the Wiley Show, I'm right here. God bless you. Peace. All right. So I sent it to her. What's the problem? Why we had put an address on. That's one thing I like about Jaguar Wright. She don't do subliminals. She put an address on it. She put it right there. Yes, she did. She put it right there. And I just said, just put Candace in there too. What's the problem? Eat that making this out here. Swear she don't snitch. No, I snitch. You talking about don't snitch. Oh, baby, please. This is a show. You got to snitch to be in media. What the world had this for? I want the mess. Okay? I'm here for it. I sure. If she hit it back, reach out to Jaguar Wright and tell her to y'all come on the Wiley Show. Come on the Wiley Show. And let's talk. And thank you so much to the post office. So we're going to talk about voting for one quick second. Make sure y'all vote. I'm not about to get up on here and tell y'all to vote D or don't vote at all. No. I'm going to tell you whether you feel like voting R or D. Baby, just vote. Because my ancestors did not just die for you to be dedicated to one party. They have sacrificed so you can have the right to vote, have the constitutional right to vote. So, baby, whether you are D or baby, whether you are R or baby, whether you are I, just go V-O-T-E. V-O-T-E. It ain't got no D or no I in it. It's V-O-T-E. Vote. Don't let nobody tell you who you should vote for and act though you ain't got power as an adult. You an adult, use your mind. Whoever you think will be better in office, vote for that person. Now, I'm voting because Kamala Harris is running and I want to see a sister as the president of the United States. That's who I'm voting for, okay? It is what it is. It is what that's who I'm voting for. But I'm not going to tell you, vote there, this vote D all down the ballot. No. If it's some good R's down there, then vote R. If it's a good I down there, vote an I. Whoever you feel that's going to do the best job for you and your community, vote them in. Don't let nobody influence you to vote against your interests. Okay? If you want the extra $600 a week for unemployment, make sure you get Congress and some senators that believe and put investments in unemployment. if you want to make sure you keep your food stamps and your welfare and everything like that, make sure you vote in people that's going to put policy in place to protect your Social Security, your welfare, and your Section 8. That's who you vote for. Don't vote against nobody against your interests, okay? And I'm voting for my interests. That's it. All right, I just had to say that. I got my voter's registration card, okay? So I can vote in Texas, okay? I'm excited. A politician just sent me Jane Nelson. Is a state senator. I don't know who Jane Nelson is. Never heard of a Jane Nelson. So I'm gonna see how she is. And I got a call. She's a state senator in Texas. So I'm gonna be getting into state politics, local politics, all that type of stuff. So it is what it is. We're gonna start bringing politicians on the show. Okay? Okay? So go vote. I'm not gonna tell you whatever you feel like. If you feel like wearing your red pantyhose to vote red, then vote red. If you feel like wearing your blue pantyhose to vote blue, vote blue. If you feel like wearing your blue boxes to vote blue, vote blue. If you feel like wearing your red boxes, then vote red. Whatever you feel like voting, you vote. Baby, because that's what our ancestors, that's what they sacrificed their lives for you to go vote. Period. And vote early. When it first opened up for the polls to open, vote by mail, vote early. Early voting, vote. Vote, 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 vote. Don't complain, vote. And after you get through voting, pick up the phone, pick up your clipboard, pick up your pen. Stay on these politicians. Stay on their phone. Stay emailing them. Stay going to their offices when you can visit their offices to make sure that they are doing what they campaign for. Don't give up. Don't just vote and forget about the people that you voted for. Stay on them like y'all stay on the Wiley Show and producing your bank statements. Y'all should be doing the same thing, staying on these politicians. Stay on them. Call them and say, sir or ma'am, you better make sure you vote this way or vote that way. Learn how to lobby for your for better policy for your family and community. You got to learn how to get politically engaged. Don't just vote these people in and forget about them. Stay on them. Learn their number. Get their email address. Learn their office number. Learn their staff name. So when they call in, if their staff name is Mr. Wiley, can I speak to Mr. Wiley, the chief of staff? But this is so-and-so. I'm against the women against violence. I am here. We are advocating to make sure that the senator or Congress or city worker support Bill SB 8889. Be network and network in your community. That's what it had to be. Woo! I said, let me drink a little bit more of this coffee. Let me drink a little bit more of this coffee. Whew, I just had to say that because I got power in my words. We got 239 million people watching The Wiley Show. I don't see no 239 people. But first and foremost, you ain't in my mind. I said I see 239 million people watching because I got vision. If your vision don't see that, then that's yours. But one thing about my vision, I see millions. Everybody pick up their bank statement. Pray on your bank statement right now. Say, Lord, I need an increase. Lord, I need an increase. Increase it. Hey, increase it. I just picked it up and just put it in your hand. Say, Lord, I need an increase. Increase this, Lord. Put an idea in my mind. Put the work in my mind. Give me the strength to get it. In Jesus' name. Thank God. Amen. I put that in my hand. I want to increase. I want to increase. Increase. Whew. I wish I can shout right then and there. I wish I can shout right then and there. I wish I could, because I know he's going to do it for me. I don't know about y'all. He's going to do it for me with this muscle shirt that I can't fit, but it look good up in my top part. I know God going to bless me. I'm going to have big money. Big money. I'm going to be able to call my granny hello, because I know she can't hardly hear like that. She need a hearing aid. She going to call one day. I'm going to be able to call granny. We're going to get into our last two topics. I got to say this. One of them be able to call. She going to be like, hello. Oh, hey, Greg. Hey, hello. Who did? Is why you ain't got to work no. Hello. I say you ain't got to work no more. Correction. The house get built from the ground up. See, you want to stay there? Build it up from the ground up. Hey, shut up. You ain't got to worry about traveling no more. Somebody go drive you to everywhere you need to go. All right? It's going to happen for me. I don't know about y'all. I don't know how y'all talk to yourself, but I talk. This is how I talk. I'm being able to call my mama, put that bottle down and listen to me. You ain't got to work no more. You say, what? I say, you ain't got to work no more. I'm going to shut up. I'll pay your house. What you say, boy? Your house is paid off. It's going to be able to happen. It's going to be paid off completely. Paid off. It's going to happen. I know it's going to happen. Every single moderator that I had, baby, staff, good money. We all going to vacations. Oh, Liz? Yes, I know what's going to happen for me. And the people that's around me, because I don't want to just be blessed and the people around me suffering. No, we all gonna look and smell good. We all gonna have money in the bank. When it comes to stocks, let me say this really quickly, because we said we're gonna do a financial show, but ain't nobody really hit me up really quickly. But I want to tell you this. When it comes to stocks and stuff like that, I'm on Robinhood. I got a couple of stocks, right? So I got the Apple stock. We did the 4-to-1 split, meaning that it was like one something per stock. So instead of me just having one stock, I actually have four stocks. Okay, today Apple performed the 4-to-1 favor split, so I have that. Then I got two stocks for DEL PHI Technologies. I got two stocks for that. And so what I do is, if you're first starting out and you just want to start investing just small, I have Acorns. And so Acorns, they invest your spare change. So whatever you have, your spare change, they will invest it. So right now I have almost $200 in investment with Acorn, and whatever your spare change in, they will invest it. So if you want to start out small like that, I highly suggest to go that route. But if you know what kind of stocks, what you're going to invest in, you already know the name or which company that you want to, with Apple, it's Microsoft, whomever, I suggest Robinhood. So give me a second. I'm going to post each one down there. You can sign up my account and you can be able to get some, I think, a free stock. They have like different promotions. So you will see once you sign up. None of these places are paying me. I just been using this company, Acorns, I've been using it for almost a year for Acorn. I just started the other one for like 6 months. So I started doing stock investments January of this year with Acorns. Then I started getting into Robinhood, and then I have Stash. So I just started investing, looking what I have, and get around people. My suggestion is go to YouTube. It's different YouTubers that you can watch that talk about investments and talk about how to invest, which stocks to look out for. It's a lot of knowledge out there when it comes to investments, right? And then also get on the phone with people that actually invest, right? So, because I got a couple of producers that do investments, and they be like, Wiley, watch out for this stock, or Wiley, watch out for this stock. I got WWE stock, I got some airline stock, I got some Apple stock, and I got what was the other stock that I got? It was Apple stock. Got some coffee, Lucky, Luckin coffee. I think that was like a free stock. And then I got some other stocks. So just get some people around you that is in there. And if you don't have anybody, make sure you go to YouTube, go to, the stock market, investments, etc. Watch, consume as much content as possible, and you will definitely get it. I didn't get any Telsa stock because I ain't got no Telsa money. Definitely did not get any Telsa stock. Everybody say, Wiley, get Telsa, get Telsa, get Telsa, get Telsa. I didn't have any Telsa stock. I don't have any Telsa stock. Okay, I don't have any Tulsa stock money. But one thing that I tell people that's around me when they're investing, when you get your refund, especially for those that get a nice amount for their refund, make sure you put some money in investments. Put some money in the savings, put some money in the checking, but also put money invest as well. Especially when you get big sum of money. Make sure you invest. Invest in real estate. Once I get like $10 or $20 million, once I get all like big money, I'm going to be getting like properties, investment properties. I'm gonna Airbnb it. I'm gonna rent out property for like Section 8 apartments. But I'm also gonna put investments into the trade school industry, like training students up and then hiring them to work for my company to like rehab my properties, to put plumbing, to help with electricity, etc. So I'm gonna invest in education, but also I'm gonna invest in like the social media and the digital world as well. So, but develop, my opinion, what I'm currently going through, develop great habits now. Develop these habits now when you definitely, about to come into some money. Everybody should have life insurance, right? Everybody should have that. Everybody should have a savings, right? So whenever you come into money, put $10 away, 25 cents away, 50 cents away, 75 cents, $1. Put a habit into going to your savings and put something in there. And also, too, when credit, for me, I'm working with different people to help me get stuff off my credit and also credit building. Because the thing I'm learning about credit, you have to build credit. Yeah, you may have some mess up, but you have to build credit up. So now in the state now, I'm kind of like that because now I'm in building credit. And it's a process to build credit. Get a credit card, a secure credit card helps me out as well. Get 2 secure credit cards and pay your phone bill, your light bill on your secure credit card, then pay the balance. And make sure that you're not overutilizing the limit. Make sure you be under 30% of the credit utilization. Don't abuse like your credit limit. Make sure you're using your credit just to pay bills, not to go shopping and just get all that stuff and then you got to pay this APR rate. No, make sure you pay off your credit, keep it in a good balance every month. That's how you do it, right? And if you have children, one thing that I've learned, and I've listened to people that have done it, they put their kids on their credit as an authorized user, right? And that's why their kids have great, amazing credit by the time they leave the house. It's because their parents put them on as an authorized user. Even you, if you can trust somebody. This you just can't randomly do this. But if you have credit, if somebody puts you down as an authorized user, their credit great habits will reflect on your credit report. But that's only if you know somebody that is an amazing, you got a great relationship with. But for me, I'm building it up day by day. It is a process. My goal is by the time January 2021, I want to be in 600. By the spring of January 2021, I want to be in the mid 600s. By the fall 2021, I want to be at 700. Next year, then I want to be at 8. So it is like a process that you got to do when it comes to credit, right? It is a process that you go to. It's plenty YouTube channels that talk about building credit. Right? Because when you have, what I've learned, when you have bad credit, you're paying extra money for being in debt, high interest rates, right? But once you get great credit, you don't have to pay a big interest rate, a big APR rate. Your interest would be very low. And people will throw things at you when they know you can pay for it great. You can get great when you get a home loan, et cetera, because having good credit, you can write your own ticket. People will treat you better despite the color of your skin. If your credit is top notch, you will go in the bank and people will put some respect on your name. Hello, Mr. Wiley. And once they know that you got amazing credit, you paid off your house, you pay off your car, you pay off this, they will respect you. They will sit you down, bring you coffee, etc., etc. Hello, Mr. Wiley. Yes, Mr. Wiley. Hello, sir. Yes, you approve. Yes, sir. Oh, yeah. Because every time they see you, you have built a good relationship. And this is why it's very good to build good relationships with banking, with your bank. You know, if you own a home, do it with your bank. You get a card, do it with your bank. Do a credit card. Have a great relationship with your bank, because if they know, they will give you that business loan. They will give you this because they know this brother is going to pay it back, because look at the history that we have with this brother. Okay? Now, if you got negative stuff, oh, I'm so sorry, sir. You can't get approved. You have been denied. Or you have to pay all these different type of deposits when it comes to that. But it's a process. It is a process, people, but make healthy spending habits, right? I'm not there yet, but I'm so glad that I instilled those great spending habits, working on my credit now. So by the time I get into the age of, in my 40s, I want to be financially secure. In my mid-30s, late 30s, early 30s, or early 40s, financially secure. Finance won't be a problem, And I keep telling you, I won't be in debt. That's why when I go to the bank, I get treated very well. I get so many offers, right? You build a great relationship. Even when you go in the bank, they see me, hey, I got this to put in. That you have great relationship. It goes a mighty, mighty good way. I never use over credit limit. So that's the point that I want to say. And we'll open up the phone line. It's so much. I'm not an expert. I'm only telling you how much knowledge I have consumed for me doing what I'm doing to help me. There's different companies that can help you and everything like that. So I have one company that's helping me. They're doing an incredible job. I'm using Lexington Law. They are done an incredible job helping me. A lot of people throwing shade at them, but for the work they have been doing for me so far, I give them kudos. So I'm going to use them for about another 5 to 6 more months, because what they have been doing for the little time that I have been doing have been awesome, right? Have been awesome. And one thing about me, I ask a lot of questions. I make sure that I'm building up credit. And now I'm not going over my credit limit and say, forget about that. No, I'm making sure that I'm paying all of my credit cards on time, not doing it over 30%, not doing it over 30%, just doing that. No. Below that, pay like my phone bill, light bill, etc. So we're going to get it together, y'all. I will be financially secure. And I put the investments back into the show, because yet I'm an entrepreneur. I'm running my own business. And I want to thank the producers for the help. So if you want to join us for a financial show, send us an email. If you know how to help with people with their credit, and you does an amazing job, and you're really good as investment, and you're willing to come on the show, come on the show. I would love that. Person are going through one by one, still waiting. So that's how you do it. That's how you do it. That's how you do it. I highly suggest every YouTuber that, and I'm going to be honest, every YouTuber, your credit you should be building your credit up. You should have investments. If you're getting $10,000 a month and your credit score is 400, that's sad. That to me is sad. And learn how, when I do make the 10, the 20, the 30, the 40, the 50, I got to learn not to overspend it. Instead of me buying a new car, one of the expensive cars off the lot, I want to make sure that my investments are good, my credit are good, looking into investing in property. So before I pull up in a BMW or a Jaguar, whomever, I want to say, hey, y'all, I closed on my first home, or I got this 3-flat building, or this building right here or this commercial property before I invest in something that depreciated value once you drive off the lot. But if you buy this home, then you got some collateral, you got equity, then you got this. I'd rather have that and to ride the bike than to be having something that's going to appreciate value. But if you got this home that you can be like, oh, okay, I paid it, or I can rent this out for Airbnb if you travel a lot, and be like, especially if you're in a good area where you can rent it out for a weekend, for a week, and you can accumulate money that way. You know? So yeah, I'm speaking for me because I'm very observant. I be watching for. I'm like, when I get like this, I'm invited. Because right now, I see myself, even though I don't have the money or the resources right now, but I see myself Googling listing. I'm like, oh, this property, oh, this building. I see different places. Like, oh, I want that one. I'm gonna have that, or I'm gonna have that house. I just see different stuff, right? And I develop these practices. Like books. I read books, so that'll let me know that when I'm a book writer, I want to make sure that I own the publishing, that I own the rights, that I can distribute it to the stores where I don't have to pay a publisher all the money that I can consume the big check. So if the book is $20, I get 80 to 90% of the proceeds and not have to share with all the big publisher that I get the big buck of the money. So I'm just learning and being observant of the business that I'm in, right? And I don't know all. I'm just learning as I, come through. I don't know everything, y'all. I don't. But let's get into celebrity gossip. So if you want to join us for the financial show, send us an email and we will bring you on the show. Everything like if you are a business of real estate, this and that. If you're a multi-millionaire, you want to come. If you want to mentor me, my email is open. All right. But I want to get into two subjects, then we can open the phone lines. Letoya Luckett admitted that she was broke after she left Destiny Child. Y'all know the history. Destiny Child, Letoya Luckett got kicked out of the group because she wanted a different manager. And Matthew Knowles said, get out of my group. Not going to happen with no new manager. And when she left, she did an interview and she said, man, I was so broke. I had to eat oodles and noodles. And I never shared this story before. And I had to sleep in the car. And I weep for her. I was doing a lot of crying this morning. And I said, wow, but look at her now. Look at her now. Even though she had to eat oodles and noodles in the hotel, but then she finally got a breakout room with the preacher's kid. Then she started to make great music, her albums, and now she's on Greenleaf. She's on all this stuff, and now she just joined it. But that have not always been her place. So when people say, oh, I'm jealous of what you have, you got to go back in the beginning. If you want what I have, okay, go through my struggles. So when she said that, really was definitely great. So I love hearing that and her testimony. Like I was telling the show when I used to sleep on people's couches and I would have to go to the gym to use the restroom because everybody had their company. And now I can go to the restaurant room now. And then one day I'll be able to say, oh, I have my own complete space where I have my own furniture and my own bed, the area where I can do my show. Eventually I will get there. But I thank God for what I have. And when I listened to her testimony, I said, just keep putting that work in because she got where she have now is because she stayed consistent and she put in the work. She showed up to the audition. What if she never would have showed up to the audition for the preacher's kid? What if she never would have showed up for that audition? She would have never gotten the role. That's why you got to continue to put in that work. You got to continue to do it. Just like if G-Status, if they booked me for the reunion show, and let's say they don't have the money to fly me and all that. And I make a deal. I fly myself down. You pay for my room and board, for my room. I pay for my own meals. Just put me down there because I understand the vision. I know it will be more of a blessing for the show. It is for it. And so I'm even learning how to negotiate as a businessman and understand my talent. You know what I'm saying? And learn how to work and understand vision. And so when Letoya said all of that, I was like, man, I got to work harder. 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 I love hearing those testimonies. Now let's get into Tim. Tim is in prison. In jail. He, He put out a hit on his nephew. His nephew is dead, and he did it to get his nephew money. And find out Tim never got the money because he did not have the proper paperwork. He was a part. He put the hit out on Andre, his nephew, got his nephew killed, all because of the greed, all because of money. Miss Robbie, I'm hearing from other bloggers and word on the street that she is so hurt and heartbroken and that she's afraid for her life because it came out that Tim took out $1 million policy out on his mother. Now, the insurance guy, the insurance agent, the agent that were getting these insurance policies, signing off of, selling these policies, he was arrested as well. And we're hearing that he's out on bail and that he is going to turn state evidence against Tim and Tim accomplice, the stripper. So I'm praying for Ms. Robbie. It's a very sad thing. None of the families are talking. None of the family members are really talking to the media. The community is sad. Everybody, including myself, felt like we are a part of that family. It's because, I grew up watching that show in my early 20s. That show was on, so I kind of like grew up with that family. And it just hurt me because, Miss Robbie that's an elder. She's in her 80s, and yet she got to deal with this. And this is so sad. And I feel for, Tim's son, he got to grow up that your father did this. So all around, it's just a sad situation. I'm definitely praying for the family, definitely praying for Miss Robbie, Charlie, Shanae, all of the members of that family, definitely praying for that. Because the opportunities that, that they offer for them have been beautiful. The opportunity that Miss Robbie have given Tim, he had his own ticket. She let him control a restaurant. Then she had to sue him. It was greed because the Bible said for the love of money is the root of all evil. When you really love money and you in love for the love of you in love with, and you got that greed, that don't make you would do some dangerous things just to have it. And he was very bad when it came to money. He was very bad when it came to running restaurants. And even when you go back and OWN Network still got those clips up, it's just showing up in my feed, the Sweetie Pie feed. And you see that even when Miss Robbie went back to the prison that Tim was in for 12 years, now she probably have to go visit him in a federal prison. It's just so sad and disturbing that how can you do this and put your mother and then put a policy out on your mother allegedly? That's crazy. It is so crazy. What people would do for money is sad. It is so sad. There's nothing for the family to say. They're dealing with devastating issue. The only need to speak and support one another. As soon as they speak out, the media will run with it. Absolutely. Absolutely. Sorry about that post while I was texting my son, the lower level of my home. Sorry. So I'm definitely hearing that. So we're going to open up the phone lines and have a conversation. If you want to speak on it. Whatever you want to talk about, all the subjects that we talk about, the number is 646-716-8447. I see y'all still talking about the stocks, so that's a good thing. So some of y'all have signed up for Robinhood. Thank you so much. And so I say shout out to y'all for doing that. Let's go to the phone lines. Okay, here we go. Anonymous, you live on the air.
Hey, Wiley.
Hey.
I'm sorry, I have to be the first to call in. Let me tell you something. As soon as you mentioned Tesla, some told me, let me check it because you remember I called in Saturday and I told you how they were getting ready to do that split. Because Tesla had went to 200 on Saturday. Now, once you mentioned Tesla, some told me to check it. Why they did the split? I bought 2 shares, okay? Tesla, when they did the split, it kicked off at, let me see, $444.65. That's what it opened at this morning. From the time that you mentioned Tesla, it said you didn't have the coin. And the reason why I'm going to tell you why I mentioned that part. To now, me being on this phone, it's at $4.55. So I already made a $12 profit just that fast from the time you mentioned that to now. Now, I'm gonna tell you what happened to me. Back up in March when, Tesla, was at $500, the stock market crashed, I got my stimulus check, right? I seen that it was at the time it was like 567, 566 or either 567. I'm like, oh, that's too much. I don't want to invest all that money. So I had ended up taking a different route, which I started. I looked into like the stock for airplanes and, companies, Southwest, Spirit and Outlet, right? Because I didn't want to spend that much money on Tesla. I feel like crap now because if I would have spent that money on Tesla, do you know I'd be having $3,000 pocketed? If I would have took that chance and spent that 560 whatever or 550 whatever it was in the five, if I would have just bought 2 shares, I would have $3,000 profit right now. So I know it's a lot of money. I know it is. But when I tell y'all, y'all will make that money back plus more, in the reason being, China just finished making their own Tesla. So that's about to drive the stock market up too. And did you get that article, that photo of that article I had sent you of that flying car?
Yeah, I did.
You seen it? All right, so they're going to have to sign on with a company. I believe the company is going to be Tesla because Tesla just came out with a truck. It ain't doing that good. It's ugly. It's not doing that good. So now they have to go into something else to see what else they can do. And by China creating that Tesla, I think that company and that flying car is going to merge together. So they did everything for a reason, and like I said, I just literally made an extra $13 since you mentioned Tesla not that long ago, that fast. So right now it's at 40. Hold on, let me look and see. Right now the Tesla is at 453. Okay. So for the people that can pay for it. Okay? Pay for Tesla for the people that can. Now, like I had said on Saturday, the people that probably can't afford Tesla, do Madonna Modern with an A. Okay? Because I don't even know if I'm saying it right. Modern with an A at the end, add that on. Do them. Because they going into their third trial come tomorrow. Because tomorrow's the first, right? So that stock is about to shoot back up once they announce they going into their third trial. So, and I think that stock, let me look, because I'm on here right now. And I already have 3 stocks with them. And I got them when they was at $44, $45. This was like over a month ago, and then when they said that they were going into their second trial, it shot up to $86. Of course, I had took my money out right before it started dropping back down, and then, as a matter of fact, I need to do it now before they mention. And now it's at $63, so it's getting ready to shoot back up once they mention this last trial. So, for the people that is into stock, if you have coins, please invest in Tesla. You remember I told you they getting ready to do that split for Apple? They're getting ready to do that too.
They did that.
Apple stock is about to drop lower than what it is right now. It's still 100 and something. It's still 100. I checked it. It's still in $100, but it's about to drop down once that split happens. So if you don't want to do Tesla, now, I'm not telling nobody just to jump into it, okay? I'm telling y'all the names of it so that way y'all can do y'all research y'all stuff, okay? And then when y'all feel comfortable, go ahead and do what y'all got to do. you know, hopefully the people that that was listening to the show on Saturday did the research for Tesla, and before that because the market is about to shoot up again on for Tesla at 12 o'clock. Because for some reason around 12 o'clock, your numbers always go up around 12, and then like 1 or 2 will drop just a little bit. Then the next day it'll do it again, and then drop a little bit. Then the next day it'll do it, and then from the on Friday it will drop, and then Monday right before the stock market opens, it's gonna shoot up. I've been watching numbers. I don't know why the stock market does that, but that's how the stock market.
Yeah, because it's like an article right here with Tesla and Apple. So they really, because they were talking about Tesla's shares split 5 for 1 on Friday since announcing the split on August 11. Shares have gained 61%. The move is a surprising. Shares up 0.4% or $1.82 in a pre-market trading above $445. Monday is the first day of shares will trade at a split adjusted price. So yeah, so it's definitely that way. Let me add this other call on 9957. Caller, you're on the air.
Hey, it's Rolling Rebel.
Go ahead, it's Rolling.
Hey, so I like your perspective on the G-Sex episode and the Delicious whole thing.
Yeah.
So here's my question. You feel like Delicious is a good antagonist for the show and you need to stay on the show. I do too. The only thing that I don't like about the situation is people are calling her racist and a white girl, and you know there are other things.
No, she's not white, but I think she's Mexican. But okay.
Right. She's Mexican. But that still doesn't make an excuse. But we need to call out the real villain, which we know who it is. And Todd's story last night, I didn't believe it. With the hands, you know, you use your other body parts for other things, but we're not going to discuss that.
Okay.
I just feel that, you know, that was a good balance last night with the episode, but some of those things I really didn't believe. You know, people laughed at the king, but we didn't laugh at the situation with the other person whose name shall not be mentioned. So, you know.
Whose name should not be mentioned? You know, we mention names over here.
Sherrod. I don't see it for her. She don't see it for me. You know, because I've called her out the entire season. She called us out in the past.
But you be getting a lot of mess, Rolling. Like Roland Martin, like not Roland Martin, Roland Rebel. You be getting a lot of mess.
Because I call it out.
Okay.
And you'll see something that transpires that's coming up real soon.
Okay.
For the reason that she doesn't like me. So people think that, because Sherrod is looking good and Sherrod is this and Sherrod is that Sherrod is innocent. But y'all aren't seeing the real person behind the scenes that people need to see. Mm-hmm. You know, I'm not saying that you can't show who you are and promote your disability because you and I have.
Right.
But it's the thing about having humility and being honest with yourself and saying, well, I start shit, you know. And if that's what you want to do, own it. And then you got to take the consequences for it. So I don't see what other people see in this person. Yeah, you could be beautiful on the outside, but ugly on the inside, and that's what that person is.
All right, I hear you on that. Thank you so much for calling in and telling me about the show. But I would love to host a reunion show. But again, whatever you have to say about him, he's great for the show. I think Delicious is great for the show. It's just a conversation, right? I don't like to run from a conversation. If she say some messed up stuff, then confront her about it. That to me makes for an awesome reunion show. You know what I'm saying? Because she got into a fight. She said some things that were very controversial, but Charlie said some things that were controversial to Delicious. I just think it's good for entertainment, good for TV. Period.
Right.
And I think like put that on the episode, even though I didn't agree with, let's talk about network television. I didn't agree with Jason Lee when he threw that drink. I think at Hazel Lee, I think he threw a drink at somebody. I didn't agree with that, but it was entertaining.
Right.
So I'm all about the entertainment. I would love to see you roll up on an episode one day. Get in your wheelchair, just roll up on the scene. Because they don't like you, but it'll be great for TV.
Well, I'm trying to get to the reunion now because I've been called out last night by Sherrod on live. So I want to see what he has. Because when I got these receipts, I'm going to end him.
Okay. All right.
I got a few receipts to show how he is. So since you want to call
get what the receipts. Is it under your wheelchair? Roll it up. Give it to me. Give me the receipts. Is it under your power cord? Wherever it's at. I want to see the receipts. Roll it.
I'm sure. Yep. Mm-hmm.
But I told you to get your platform. You let Roland Ray get all the publicity. You should have been on the front lines in your wheelchair saying, roll up, don't shoot, roll up. You should have been all up on there. I'm just saying. You should have been up there. You should have been rolling your chair saying, Andrew Carver, put it down. Having your mask, I'm just saying. Have your book bag connect to your chair and really get to clicks and views. Where you at? You got to get out that house.
I sit in the background, and my name still talked about.
I know, but Rolling Rebel, you got to be on the front lines. Okay? I would love to see a Rolling Rebel versus Rolling Ray challenge. I would love to see it. I would love to see it.
Maybe.
It's going to happen. Just get you a platform, get you a podcast. Where you from? What city you at? Where you at?
Where am I from?
Yeah, like where you currently reside. You in like what?
I'm from St. Louis, but I'll be back and forth in between here and Atlanta.
Oh, you in Atlanta, so I definitely got to see. You might have to be my special guest. We could just roll up that again. I can lift to that reunion. You can roll up to you, or maybe I could just sit on your lap and we could just ride your chair all the way to the reunion. Who knows? It could be just a great show.
Oh, it'll be a show with security because half of them don't like me.
It don't matter. I'll be your security. Ain't none of them girls can't run up because they don't eat right. They be out there smoking and drinking, and we strong. You know what they say about us disabled folks, that we real strong. So let them try it.
They do.
Yeah.
I'm
just saying. Well, it's okay then, make sure your chair's polished, polish up the wheels, and we have put on a show.
But do you think that, honestly, that they will let you off the show because they will feel like you're biased? And
I feel like it should be a great show because what I'm negotiating, I'm bringing in a national base with me. I'm nationally as a YouTuber, I have different base, different sectors that they can tap into, right? And I think it would be a great show because Wiley is nationally known, and that will help the show because you never seen a host that looked like me before. You never seen that. So I just think the laughter, the roast, the gag, the chat gonna be lit. The comments gonna be different, blogs gonna be lit. But you can't get a host on there that's a typical Atlanta host. You got to get somebody that's gonna be for the people and that's gonna put on a show.
I get it. I get it, but that show's about a look and a vibe.
It doesn't matter. Sometimes you can usher in a different type of look, right? Because I think my look would be awesome because I have a stylist that live in Atlanta, and I think that it will be a lit show. And my look going to be real good because I'm going to be tuned in by millions of people, right? And I just know how to put on a show. And I know people that going to be hating because my presence alone is going to drive up attention because I'm just sitting there, right? And I can say when Maddie said, I'm here, you're not. And that going to trigger some people. I don't know why I said that.
So which one of the cast members do you think you'll trigger?
I think I trigger all of them because of the questions that I would ask. What people want to do would know. I would trigger a lot of stuff. And I just think that it would be for a good show. Period. I think it would be a great show. And everybody in the chat, for the 200 some odd million people that are watching now, they are excited about this show. They now I got people that's emailing me now that never watched G Status that are watching. Just that interview alone we did was some controversy in the interview that I interviewed Ford. So that'll let you know I know how to trigger, I know how to drive conversation, and I know how to drive conversation and controversy to get people engaged. Like, oh my gosh, did you hear or did you heard that? Blah, blah, blah. I think it would be a great show.
Speaking of that interview with Ford, before I go, I'm gonna tell you, you were gaslighting that bitch, because she's delusional.
I think Ford is very attractive. I think very talented, amazing rapper. And like I said, thousands of people were in the chat from across the country were saying, Wiley, that was one of the best interviews that you ever did with Ford. And people were saying that he's the lead cast member. And yeah, I just think he's awesome. I think he's great. I think he's very talented. I think he, I really love the fact that he was in a multi-million-dollar mansion in a beautiful pool and drinking, and living his best life, popping bottles. I just think he's really living that superstar lifestyle.
But were you reading the YouTube comments? Is the question.
I was reading the YouTube comments, and the comments that I seen and the emails, it was 90%. We want more interviews with Ford. He's the best. He's the greatest. And I said, wow, thank you. I wasn't even planning that.
I think you want more interviews with Ford, not in that way. You want to interview us in that pain. But that's a whole other story.
So you don't like the interview that I did with Ford?
It wasn't real. It wasn't authentic. She's delusional.
You think she's delusional? Okay. Okay.
Common sense. It wasn't. You think it? I mean,
Okay.
This person see it for you, but you'll learn it.
But let me say this though. I believe Ford is an amazing talent. I think that his mouth is brutal, and I think as for a show, he's going to talk about it. Even he do give me Whitney Houston tease, but he puts on a great show. Even though he talked about MTV like he just got booked for a show last week, I'm here for it. Sometimes you have to be delusional. I watch a lot of delusional people that live that life just because they pull off the lot in a great car. They think they wealthy and rich. So it's a lot of delusion that goes on, but sometimes you need that delusion to put on a great show for good entertainment.
True. However, nobody knew what MTV show you were on. You were on a pilot. You didn't make it on the full show, so it doesn't count. Have some humility, man. And she does it.
So you're saying that he was on the pilot and it wasn't on the real show? Wow.
We did another interview with a blogger that said he was on a pilot. He didn't make it on the screen. He got casted for the same show, a different season, but we still didn't see him on the screen. So,
wow. That is an exclusive. So according to Roland Rebel, that show Ford that was on MTV is on a crate on somebody's desk or in somebody's warehouse collecting dust. That's what you're saying.
That's what I'm saying. Yes. This was via another interview. Matter of fact, I'll tell you which interview it was so you can go and watch it.
Okay.
It was with Team K. That was done like 2 weeks ago.
Okay. I got to get into that.
And this whole thing, and the whole thing about the leadership, you say you have no problems with her, but yet you said she's racist and all these other things, but I don't understand. Which one is it? Either you for her or you against her?
Well, first and foremost, I'm for the entertainment and the mess. She put on
I'm talking about Ford, not you.
Oh, Ford, Ford was he was a little tipsy. He was having a cocktail. So he was a little, lit, but he was having a cocktail. Even though it was in a bottle, but he was having a cocktail,
I guess that's the one we're going to run with today, but
I'm here for it. And that video almost be a couple of views away from like 1 million, from 1,000 views. So that was the second interview we put. The first one went left, but this one, I'm so glad that it was over 500 views. So I think that's awesome. I think that's great. That's why I think like the reunion show would be a lit show. I think personally it would be a lit show. Really, really lit.
Well, I'll support you, and I would love to fly in the reunion together. Because,
yes.
I've heard a couple of them have something to say to me.
Mm-hmm. All right. Okay.
Let's see if we can.
Okay, I feel you. I feel you on that.
All right, then, sir.
Okay, thank you so much, Ro. Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right. The number is 646-716-8447. Whether you're talking about investments, G-Status, ATL Hustle, or the VMAs, or Tim, or Letoya Luckett, I think that it was an amazing show. And whatever you invest in, make sure you read books on finance. Even if you have an the advisor, always go into a room that you know what you're talking about. Because when I was reading Curtis Jackson's book, Hustle Harder, Hustle Smarter, Floyd Mayweather invited 50 Cent to a meeting that he invited him to a business meeting. And it was something that's done with some business, I think with a show. I don't remember all the details. But after they left the meeting, Floyd Mayweather said to 50, like, hey, man, what were they talking about? He was like, you don't know? Like, never go into a meeting and you don't know what they're talking about. Always be observant because you want to make sure you keep your money. You don't want to be working, having smart people work for you and you don't know nothing. Make sure you do the research. It's good to have advisors, but make sure you're picking up a book and read, making sure you're doing research, making sure you ask the right questions, making sure you read up on finance. So when you go into a meeting and you have your lawyer with you, but you understand things that goes on as well. Because when I was going through my legal situation, I made sure that I studied what I was charged with. I studied what could be going on. I studied it. So the questions that I asked my attorney, he would know that, okay, I'm doing my research. I don't want to go in, everything. I don't know nothing. No, you want to do the research. And so when I read that book about how I said, okay, when I go into a business meeting and I'm shopping a deal and if I'm negotiating money, if I'm negotiating something, let me read a book about Charlemagne the God or read a book about, with Shine King or Hustle Harder, Hustle Smarter, or if I'm reading a book about whomever, I want to make sure that I soak up enough knowledge as possible so when I get in those rooms that I would know what I'm talking about and not just going in and get screwed and I got to get up on here. I signed a wrong contract. They did me wrong. Help me. No, I want to make sure that I go in knowing what I'm signing and knowing what I'm signing up for. Right. I just definitely have to say that. And also too, it's one YouTuber that I was watching that he talks about stocks. What is his name? Y'all? Give me a second. I was watching his channel. I was watching a lot of his videos. A young brother. He talks about stocks and he talks about investments. He reviewed books. Let me find out. Give me a second. I'm trying to find out what this brother was his name because I watch his channel a lot. Oh, okay, no, that's not the video. Okay, his name is Tommy Branson. That's Tommy Tommy Branson BRYSON. So I follow him. That again, his channel name is Tommy Tommy Branson. I believe that's how you pronounce his last name. It's BRYSON, and I watch him a lot. That's TOMMY BRYSON. I watch his channel a lot. I even watch Invest with Henry. I watch a YouTuber named Meet Kevin. So I watch these YouTubers and I soak up as much knowledge as possible when it comes to investment, because I am a beginner investor. And so, yeah, so it's plenty knowledge out there, especially with YouTube. It is so easy now because you can just click on YouTube and it's so much to watch. And when I was watching these channels, I'm like, man, it is so much energy out here. Like it's so much. It is so much talent out here, that resource, that it's no way in the world that you not know, just YouTube it. And so if you just sit on you would know a lot. You would know a lot, and it's a lot out there. Yes, that's the YouTuber name, designer. Yes, that's the YouTuber name. Oh, Lord, you can't be annoying to people that don't understand what you're talking about. Thank you, Wiley. So it's out there. So make sure y'all go and check out these YouTubers. And again, if you're going to sign up with Robinhood, most of us, I've got my start with that. So I think it's a great start. And they give you news and everything like that. I'm going to post it in the chat. Give me a second. Sign up for it. Start off small. And if you don't know, watch YouTubers. Look at the chat. If everybody getting this and getting that, learn how to get the Wall Street Journal or MSNBC. They got different financial channels, and you can learn how to look at financial reports and all of this. So it is what it is. So learn it, especially if you're coming into these big, large sum of these refund checks. Make sure you invest those refund checks. If we get another stimulus check, make sure you invest it, invest, and save, and save, and save. Let me see if somebody is in here. Nobody is in here to answer the phone. Nobody's here. So if you call it in, call back. Nobody said, because I think that was wrong around. So make sure you invest and save, and make sure with your credit, make sure you develop great spending habits, and teach your babies. I don't care if they 6, 7, 8. Teach them to spend right. Get a whiteboard and tell them about spending habits. Let them see you write out your budget and ask them questions. Mommy have $100, and this bill and that. How much money should mom have left? So bring that, instill that into her, because I wish my parents would instill that into me. Anonymous, you live on the air.
Hey, I don't know why I said I was waiting, because I was listening to you talk, but I had to hang up and call right back. All right. So while you was on the phone, you remember I was saying y'all about the flying car, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's set to launch in 2023.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so I'm reading more on it. Now, the day that I mentioned it to you, Saturday, was the day that they did it, tested it out for its flying. And that was Saturday? And that's when it became successful. So the companies that was funding them, because they've been trying to do this since 2012, Toyota, Panasonic, I don't know who that is, and Bandai, BANDAI. You know who that is?
No, I don't know who it is. Oh, so they said the promo code is not working. Well, I just got a message on Robinhood on the homepage, I guess, due to what was that message? It said we're experiencing high traffic. You can still place trades, but other functions may be impacted. So it's not me. It's their site. It's like extremely high traffic. So everybody is on the site today. So you probably will have to click on it a little later to like sign up under my promo code, but it's extremely like the message when you log in the beginning of it is like we're experiencing high traffic. You can still place trades, but other functionality may be impacted. So that's probably one of the functions that you can't really use right now. So try again a little later. So, but go ahead, sister.
Yeah, it is. The traffic on there is high. It is high because remember I had told you I had woke up and it said that the stock was at 444 and I had purchased 2. Although I had purchased those 2 and they had to give me those 2, but they didn't give them to me at that price. They didn't finalize mine until it hit 468. Although I purchased them at 444, but I guess it got so much traffic so they didn't finalize it until it hit 468.
Right.
So the traffic on there is high. So they're gonna, as long as you put in that request for it, you're gonna get it, but you're not gonna get it at the price that the request was for. It's gonna be whatever the price by the time they get to you. So yeah, I seen that too. I seen that too.
Right. So yeah, and then I'm giving you Stash because a couple of y'all signed up last year for the Stash account as well. And I just got a message for them, high traffic. So I think you could probably sign up on that as well. Because I'm on different broker sites. I'm on Acorn. I am on, and then when you sign up on this promo code, you get he's got you $20 on Stash. So if you sign up right there, you would give add cash to your Stash, and we would give you both $20 to invest. So they got that little promo thing running as well. So if you sign up, this is the time. So Stash is a little bit working better than Robin. I don't know what's going on Robin. Okay. I guess Robin is really going through. But go ahead.
Robin, let me say something. Can I say something to T-Time? Because they had asked something. I don't know if that's a man or a female. All right. No. 3 companies that funded the flying car. The first company is Toyota. The second company is Panasonic. Panasonic. The third company is Bandai, BANDAI, and then you got a second name to it, which is NAMCO. Those are the 3 companies that is financing, that's helping Tokyo finance the flying car. And the flying car they just did it for the first time Saturday, 2 days ago, Saturday. According to this post, it just and it says that it when they put it on the road test to see if it will fly, it flew for it flew for 4 minutes, which is good because they had a passenger in that car. So it was people in that car, and it flew for 4 minutes. So they are projecting that car to be on the road, safe and everything by 2023. So if y'all want to, y'all can just write these companies down and do y'all research. So that way, when it do hit the stock market, y'all are ready to be on y'all toes to purchase it. And I got this information from Daily Mail. That's how I first seen it. Daily Mail. They the ones that put the article out.
Okay. So, like you said, if you're interested in that, make sure you go in there and you support that. Also, too, it was another stock someone told me to get and I purchased. Let me see. Where did I look? Let me look at under here. The shout. It's like, where did I do that? I'm trying to look for buys and see where did I get it. Because somebody told me to get that stock that is with, oh my gosh, with that food. I can't think of that site that I went to. And somebody told me to get that stock. And I got it. Child, this is looking confused. Oh, here we go. Beyond Meat is another great one. Beyond Meat. I mean, like, is another one that's BEYOND Meat, because I'm in stores, and I got that stock. And when I got in, it was like 100 and something. Now it's like $135, I think now, the share. Let me see. Let me double check. Let's see what they're trading at. Because I got that last week. They said, "Oh, get that stock," and so it's so much out here. It's like it is so much. My main suggestion is to read those articles for like places that are, going public, and read what's in the news. Is to consume that information. Because like if you can't afford to get an advisor, use Robinhood. They have articles that they post. They and then you can Google stuff. You know what I mean? So it's so much site. They be having on financial channels. Like I said, YouTube is another great source. But you watch the media, see what's going on in the media as well, because you consume that too, and you just look at the markets and study it. You got to be a student of it and just soak up as much knowledge as possible. But since we're all on YouTube, consume as much YouTube as possible and watch these channels, see what the most common thing people are saying, understand the terminology, and ask questions. Hey, what are you investing in? What are your portfolio looking like? What companies are you investing in? What is hot right now? So just be like I said, be a student of the game and research each channel and go. And I'm like, okay, let me try this. Just like the conversation that we're having now, a couple of people are doing it. Like, yeah, Beyond Meat is like another great one. Someone told me to get on, so you can get into that. So that's a stock that's too. So when you have these conversations, especially talk about a person that is in invest. That if you have somebody that invests, especially somebody that invests for years, them the people that you listen to. Okay, how you doing? They would definitely tell you how to get into it. So you got to do that. So it's like 135 seats. See there? So get into this stuff, because food is another great investment. It depends upon what you're invested in. It's literally illiterate to all of this. Think y'all serious, right? I know it. So download dividends. That's good app, so you can see what companies pay out dividends in a month and quarterly. Yes, download that too. So that's another source of information. See, it's plenty stuff out here. It's so much out here. But thank you. Like another person signed up for my stash account. Thank you for that. Let me drop the link again if you don't have it, because my Robinhood for some odd reason ain't working. I'm gonna refresh it and see what's going on. Let me see if anybody else want to call in. The number is 646-716-8447. If you have any suggestions, and if you don't know, ask questions, send emails. If you're an expert who should come on as a special guest, bring them on and say, hey, Wiley, this person should come on the Wiley Show, or this person should come on. Let me know, because we would try to reach out to them and bring them on the Wiley Show. So this was dope. I put it out there last week that we should start this show, start this segment, because I don't see too many shows that get into celebrity gossip and to talk about it. And what triggered me to talk about investments when I was seeing all these YouTubers, when they were posting their money and they were talking about their bag and this and this, I said, let's just talk about finance and investments, because I'm seeing a lot of people talk about how much money they get, but I rarely hear them talk about investments. You should get someone from the financial sector to come on. Yeah, we reached out to like 2 other people. We got to see if they can come on. It is what it is. And to get them on, I'm like, man, everybody posted like they money, but I'm like, but let's talk about the investments too. Let's make that trendy and popular as well. And so what I do on YouTube, I watch financial sector. I see what's going on, what stock I should get. When I was really like working a job, and I would tell you like every check, I was like, okay, what stock I would get? Okay, what should I invest in? So I'm definitely going to continue to, I'm just going to continue to develop those good investment strategies. Absolutely. Instead of getting all the Apple gear, make sure you have some Apple stock. If you all into Nike, make sure you get some Nike. If you all about AT&T, make sure you contribute to AT&T stuff. And also, too, buy your child, get your son for his birthday. Baby, instead of buying you that Nike shoes and all this Nike gear, I bought you all this Nike stock. Get into developing those practices. Train up a child the way they should go, and when they get old, they want to depart from it. This is in the Bible. All that train up a child, train them up to learn, to get who to read and read about, talking about finances, develop the mind and do it early, right? And so, because, they really going to talk about this in schools. So make sure you be a teacher at home and teach your child, about finance, and about investments, right? Because they rarely probably will have these conversations at home. He started his account with zero and sitting at 52 since January. It was definitely helped me grow my portfolio. And that's another person. Somebody said, Chris, I think it's Stain. He's one of the good guys for sure. Let me make sure they're going to know. If you train them up early and don't wait to the last minute, definitely they will appreciate that. But you have to do it early. You got to, do it early. And even if they say they don't like it, it is what it is. You're going to get your stock on none at all. That's another black guy, gentleman. So I'm definitely going to be watching his stuff. That's another YouTuber. See, I didn't even know he existed. But now I'm going to subscribe to his channel. So thank you to the producers for letting me know that. Yeah, he's black. I love black people. I love black investors. And he's wearing a hat. All right. I love black investors. Because see, we didn't have this. I didn't have this coming up. So now I'm like, okay. And he just started talking about it. So I'm going to have to try to get him on the show. So I think that's amazing. So if you got any other people, DM me, email me, and we can have these conversations. Yes, I'm definitely trying. If you buy a China next stock, the Round Report YouTube will be great as a guest. What about listen? It's so many people. It's a lot of investors that are out there, right? And I gotta get some finance book. I'm gonna get a book on Mr. Buffett. I'm gonna get some books on a lot of people. I gotta get some finance books because I love autobiography. So I'm gonna get some books about investors too and understand their financial habits and everything. So I'm looking at the chat. So if whomever else do y'all think, tell them to tune into the Wiley Show, to come on the Wiley Show and all that. Because y'all do an awesome job. I want to say shout out to all of the producers that called in to the show today and that had these conversations, because in order for this show to work, for the financial part, the people that have been investing for a long time, share the information. This is how we grow as a people. Don't hide it. If you know something that we should be supporting or something that's going on in the market that we should know about, come on the show. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Let's not hide it. Because I didn't know nothing about like credit, like get credit cards and make sure you don't, let the interest, don't let the interest come on you. Make sure you pay the note and all. I'm like, man, I ain't know nothing about that. I ain't know nothing that you should pay your car off. You should not get it repaid. A lot of stuff I didn't know. But now I know. Now I can look at my, I can look at it right now. I say, ooh, thank God that it's paid off.
That's right. Bringing you the best in politics and celebrity gossip. This is the Wiley Show.
Listen to that, okay?
Keep it going.
Yes. So, this has been so good today. This has been a lit day. I was trying to come on station here. I was on there yesterday. Bad quality, wasn't working. So I don't even think I'm gonna do a show tonight. I don't know what is going on with me and the connection. Maybe it ain't even meant for me to be over there to do a show, but I tried to get on somebody else's show and the connection wasn't right. So if I don't get on there, y'all know what it is. It was the connection. But if we do come on, I will go live first on YouTube. I will share the link and so you can come over there. But it's just something with the connection because you have to use your phone. They don't have it on Station where you can log in on the website and connect and speak directly in the website. You have to definitely do that. But it's the versus battle. So I'm going to be watching the versus battle tonight. The versus battle. People like streaming on Patreon. No, I'm watching as a fan. I will be back to review the versus battle. That's tonight. Let me get the time because it's all out there. Give me a second. I'll be watching the versus battle tonight. Let me see what time they're doing the versus battle. Let me go because I'm on my page right now. So the versus battle is tonight at 7 p.m. Central. If you're on the East Coast, that's 8 p.m. Everybody that's on the East Coast, that's 8 p.m. Everybody that's on the East Coast, that's 8 p.m. Central, 7 p.m. If you on the West Coast, okay, if you on the West Coast, that'll be like 5 o'clock, you know, so you got to tune in at 5. But East Coast, 8, Central, 7. If you're on the West Coast, that's 5 o'clock. And that will be tonight, right? So Pacific, then they got the Mountain Time, 6 p.m. Mountain Time, 7 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. Eastern. Then they got the International Time. Like, they are on it. Like, they are on it. Like, wow, they got it all right there. They got the Japan. They got everything. They got all the time. So, y'all, this is going to be lit. This is going to be lit. And I'm going to repost this. Can I repost this? I'm going to repost this. So let me show y'all so y'all won't forget. Because I'm like, well, I'm tuned into the versus battle. What time it come on? What time it come on? Let me see. Can I repost this on my page? Let me see. I think I can. Yeah. Here we go. Let me make sure I copy this. Let me repost that on my page. Oh, no, I don't want to do it in my story. I want to do it on my page. Let me go back. Repost this on my page. And that's the versus battle tonight. I'm rooting for both of them women because they listen to me. I've been saying, get on internet, do a versus battle, baby. I didn't call that. Look how much press that versus battle getting. It's going to be millions of people watching. I learned, listen, I said, Brandy, get on social media. Brandy on social media. She started getting on social media more. I said it all. I said, Kamala Harris should be it. Kamala Harris is out there. So you got to be calling stuff and you got to understand the media and stuff like that. Next, it need to be Lil Kim need to be out there battling Nicki Minaj, old school versus new school, or or Lil Kim versus Foxy Brown, since they got a beef and all that type of stuff. So that's tonight, okay? Tonight. Make sure y'all go tune in. Tonight, it'll probably have, so it's definitely that's tonight, y'all. So make sure y'all get into it. I'm excited for the battle. I am excited for the battle. Okay. So also too, to all the investors, y'all are lit and I'm blessed to have y'all in my life. Y'all are blessed. Somebody just sent me a message saying, Wiley, I just bought 10 stocks of Apple. Somebody got 10 stocks of Apple. So wow, keep getting it. I love to see it because I just love to see people win. I'm like, yes, get it. I think another producer, I think they got 8 stocks. So I'm like, y'all are getting it. Okay. Yeah, whichever is a target day. The only way we call it 2 times a week because there we go. Y'all see that? Yeah, so the versus battle is tonight. And make sure y'all follow me on Facebook and YouTube. And make sure y'all subscribe. Let me make sure. On Instagram, you can buy fractions of shares. Don't let your money just sit in the savings. Let each coin work for you. Apple pay dividends. I need $100 in dividends. Yes, me too. I love to see people win. Yes. Also, so that'd be tonight. Always remember also dividends. I've been paid dividends. Let me see because there wasn't that much, but at least I did get dividends. And dividends is when they give you they give you some money back to you. Some do it quarterly, some do it every year, some do it yearly, some do it quarterly. So make sure you watch companies that does really good in paying you dividends. So you make sure you check out those companies that does a great job when it comes to like dividends. And what you do is with those dividends is that you invest those. I highly suggest you invest those dividends back into YouTube. Back into the market. Invest it back into it. In my humble opinion, if you have it like that. So yeah, I was trying to see, like I wanted to read that, but I'm learning just like y'all. So if you don't know, you join the club, but get the knowledge. You will learn just like us. We are all learning. So never, I'm telling you, never get into doubt that say, hey, Wiley, I don't know, blah, blah, blah. That's what I'm saying. Get the knowledge, ask questions. And that's what I highly suggest, but never get to the point where you get, you give up because, oh, Wiley, I don't know. Like, don't give up. Just continue to do it. Give me a second. I wanted to read how much dividends I got, but it wasn't that much. It was like, where's my dividends? Did I ever? Because it wasn't that much. So my dollar chain total returns percentage. I'm looking at that. I wasn't looking at it. But yeah, it wasn't that much in dividends that I had, but it was something. It was like a couple of dollars I had in one account, but I was trying to bring it up. So dividends app is the bomb. Yes, let me actually download the app right now because if I don't download the app, I will forget. Let me download that right now. I'm about to download it right now because I see it. Somebody said download the dividend app. So is it the dividend tracker? Stock dividend. Is that it? I think it's a stock dividend. I guess so. You learn and help everyone around you. Yes. So I guess that's the one I download. All right. Y'all have a wonderful, wonderful morning. Okay. Speak joy in your life. You're beautiful. You're awesome. Never let nobody stop you. Continue to do it. Also, too, I want to say thank you to people that have been sending me requests on my skin. I wish I could take credit, but I just do the routine. But I want to give a special shout out to Shay's Creations on Saturday. Make sure you all put your questions and bring it with it. Like people use the promo code Wiley. I mean, my skin, I give it all. Like the skin routine that I put together and her products are just great and awesome. And I get so many compliments in my DMs. Some family members have been saying, like, oh, Wiley, your skin, what are you using? And I definitely use Shay's Creations. So make sure you all check her out. You go to the website. It is there. Yeah, so I mean, like, come on. Where's her website? I want to definitely put that on there. And bring your questions because she's amazing. I just had to say that because people will be like, Wiley, what do you use? And I'll be giving them like the name of the products. And I'll be like, go to shadescreations.com and you use the promo code Wiley, or you can call her and she give you questions. But bring your questions on Saturday. So we're doing a show on Saturday. Chicago, I don't know. It's like because like some family members like don't do it because you got to be quarantined for 10 days. I don't know. But if I do go, we'll be posted on Patreon. But I just want to say thank you all this morning for coming on the show. Shout out to all the mods in the house tonight. So yeah, thank you so much. I just got 50 shares of Apple. Wow. From my last YouTube check. You better come through, sister. 50 shares. Yes, learn it, help dividends. So, wow, come through. She said 50 shares. I'm here for it. Get it. Thank you all. Make sure y'all leave a comment on the show, and I will see y'all tonight because I'm going to be watching the versus battle. So I can't wait. Peace. All right. Y'all have a good morning. I'm done. We are for 2 hours. Woo, this was fun. Let me go ahead. I got to get my exercise. exercise. Y'all have a good one. I'll do my exercise. That was a show.